Hey, thank you very much. Welcome to another episode of Studio 84 podcast here at Lithuli Avenue at Studio 84. And this afternoon, yes, it's afternoon already, I'm with the one and only Hajara Nabasirye.
Yes.
Hajara Nabasirye calls herself something. I'll later introduce herself properly. But Hajara, welcome to Studio 84.
Thank you.
You finally met the baby.
Of course, yes.
You met the baby?
Yes.
Are you carrying the baby?
Yes, I am.
I know Hajara from a business community that I belong to for the last couple of years. I know her from BNI. We belong to BNI Sunrise together. She's been in for a couple of months now, yet to make a year, but I believe she's enjoying herself. And Hajara, you're welcome once again to Studio 84. Please introduce yourself. And
by the way, I love pregnant women and I love babies.
Hey.
So every time you used to talk about the baby,
you're like,
I was like, I have to go and visit. Yes. Do you know those people who used to stay close to the pregnant people? Eh? It's
yes.
like you want to feel that heat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you like to get pregnant yourself?
Yes.
Oh. How many babies do you have?
Minimum 6. I want minimum 6.
You want 6. How many do you have now?
3.
3.
Yeah. But the person I'm working with doesn't promote my dream.
I'll pray for Sawish.
That is one of the topics we usually get challenges.
Yes.
With, because he wanted like 1 to 2 babies.
Yes.
And me, minimum, I want 6.
Wow.
So we have challenges.
What a wife.
Yeah.
Hajara, please introduce yourself. Tell us what you're about in business, in your other life, and let our listeners get to know you.
Okay, my name is Nabasirye Hajara.
Yes.
I'm commonly known as Coach Hanna.
Wow.
And Hanna comes from my 2 names. H-A is Hajara and N-A is Nabasirye.
I was about to ask what the relationship is between Hanna.
Someone told me I was about to name my child Hanna. Yeah.
So, most of us know you as Nabasirye Hajara,
Yeah.
the aeroplane lady.
Yeah.
We know very little about your Coach Hanna life.
Yes.
So take us through quickly to the Hajara that we know. Then you will take us to your coaching. So
Hajara is a young girl. We don't talk age. So I was born and raised in Kansanga.
Yes.
Kansanga, Seroma Hardware.
Yes.
Then Hotel Olympia.
Yes.
That's where I was born.
Yeah.
That's where I was raised.
Yes.
I went to my primary. The school is Wheeling Preparatory School. It's in Kansanga. Then my secondary, Mbogo High School.
Yes.
Then Kakungulu Memorial School and Lubiri. Yeah.
Fast forward, Hajara. Did you study ticketing?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
Why ticketing?
First of all, me personally, I knew where I come from. So after my senior 6, I knew my parents were struggling to pay my school fees.
Yes.
So I was looking for something that is not so expensive,
Yes.
something that is a bit fast. So after my senior 6, there was a Christian something at Muyenga. They were teaching computer. Yes. So I went there and I started learning those free computer lessons. So as I was learning, I met a friend called Shakira. Then they told me, I have a relative in Ethiopian airline. They've told me to study a particular course. Can you join me? So I'm like, let's go and do the research.
Yes.
I saw it wasn't so long and the amount wasn't so high.
Yes.
So I'm like, let me go pitch to my mom. I talked to my mom and dad, and they're like, it's okay, let's go for this, and after you go to campus.
Yes.
But me in my heart, I was like,
You knew.
what are you saying? So that's where I got to know the course from a friend.
You lost me at studying computer because you're a young girl. You could not have lived in the days where they were teaching computer lessons in Muyenga.
You know those bazungus who come at the village,
Yes.
they come to teach maybe the church. You know, my mom is a deacon in church.
Oh, really?
Yes, I used to sing in church when I'm young, Sunday school. It's us who started Kansanga Miracle Center.
Hajara,
Ngeri
your
mbiwe
stories are
mpe.
long. Your stories are
Yes,
long. Your mom
yes.
is a dean in church, and yet you are a Hajara.
Yes. And
Wow.
Pastor Chiwewesi knows me very well. When he finds me on the streets, it's like, you girl.
So you go land ticketing,
Yeah,
and the rest is history.
yeah.
Did you start your own company immediately? Did you work somewhere as an intern?
No, when you go for this course, it's called IATA. Most of
Yes,
the people are
yes.
focusing on working as air hostess.
The only place I've seen IATA is on a ticket. It's a stamp, a logo somewhere.
Yeah, it's
there.
a course.
Yes, and
So
one
that's
person
where
told
air
me
hostess.
that if you ever get a ticket without that IATA stamp,
Then it has
no,
a
you're in
problem.
trouble.
Yeah. So air hostess, that's the course they take.
Yeah.
Then those people work in airlines. So our focus was air hostess. But me, I was, I knew I was getting married soon. So you're not supposed to get to be married.
Yes.
Not attached to anything. So I went to airlines. I worked in airlines. But I didn't have anyone to introduce me there. So we took our applications and nothing. So by the time I was finishing my course, you know, our course that time was so competitive.
How long
When
was
you, it is like 1 year,
Okay.
and then it's they give you a Canadian diploma. So what happens most of the time, if you've been good in class, you get the job before you
Posting
leave.
immediately, yes.
Yeah. So I got the job before I graduated.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I worked for one Hajat. The company is called Destination Tours and Travel for all the years I've been in employment until I left.
When did you leave? Why did you leave?
The reason I didn't want to leave that soon because I think, what do I call it, loyalty. So I was attached to this person. People thought we are relatives, but was my boss. Because I think when you're loyal, you get connected with someone.
Yes, you do.
So she used to go to US to give birth, 7 months, and I could run the business
By
and the
yourself,
money.
yes.
And she's
Your
there
eyes
trusting me.
opened.
Yeah. So what happened? Why did I leave? You know, I was planning to leave, but I wanted to leave her in a safe place. So I got one cousin of mine. I'm like, study IATA, come and work for this person before I think of leaving.
Yes.
So as we were preparing, and the person was getting experience, COVID hit.
Wow.
So when COVID hit, it affected first the airline industry.
Yes.
And we didn't know where it's going to end. So my boss had started another business. So you have this business that is a baby and another one that is not working.
Yes.
So she was a little bit confused on what to do. So after some time, I called her. I'm like, let's make a meeting. Are we continuing with the business or no? So she was like, I don't think I can stay in that shop because I don't know where the airlines are going to open, but we have to pay rent.
Yes.
So I guess let me just close this place. Then when things get better, I can open in another place. But she told me, I love you so much. Look for something to do. If things get better before you get somewhere, of course I will take you back.
Yes.
Yeah. So I started a search, and that is when I went to coaching. Because travel, I didn't have a future. I didn't know when things are going to get better. So I had to look for a plan B that works. And I had started my coaching journey. So that is where I started. And it's also a COVID baby. So I opened up a Telegram group, put all my friends, and started teaching them finance.
Hold on, Hajara. Where do you come from? Your village?
Kansanga. We are city girls.
I had missed that, Hajara.
Yes, what are you saying?
So you're not like us who have to do
No, us we don't dig.
Hajara, thank you. I was about to ask, why coaching? Couldn't you go and dig like normal people?
I come from the city.
Wow.
We don't dig.
Yeah,
So what's introduced? By the way, I wasn't so lucky to come from a family where personal development is part of it. So I didn't have an idea. But how did I get to know about it? I walk in, like you come and you be like, I have my product, please buy. Some guy came, and he's like, I teach social media for 50,000. If you're interested, please enroll. I'm like, that is little. Even if I lose it,
At At this point, I have to ask my producer, have you had social media lessons for 50?
and it's called door to door.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, that's very little. So I paid the guy, and the guy introduced me
Really?
to social media. So after that,
During lockdown?
before lockdown, but that year.
Early 2020?
Yeah.
Yes.
So then the guy we started talking, and he's like, Hajara, but how much money do you want? I'm like, because I told him 15 million a month, and he's like, write down here all the things that can raise 15 million. So I wrote, maybe if I have rentals, I wrote a lot of things. Then guy told me, did you know that we can get these things in a few years if we move one by one? So I'm like, I think we can. So what can we do? So he told me, tell me what people consult you more about whenever they call you.
Yes.
So I did my research, and I'm like, they're always calling me when they have marital problems. I told him. He's like, why don't you become a relationship counselor? I'm like, no, I can't be known for a singer.
Exactly.
I'm like, why are they? I'm like, yes, I get phone calls. Or and I calm them down. What? No, they'll get better. Then they get in line. So I'm like, I'm risking my relationship. Yes, it's a healthy marriage or relationship, but I'm risking it because when we separate, the career is gone.
Yes.
So the guy told me, whatever we are going to choose, it has to be in line with changing people's lives.
Yes.
So I'm like, since I'm financially struggling, how about if we talk about financial, maybe counseling? And he's like, that is what they call coaching. So what we are going to do, you're going to become a financial and business coach. So on my username there and then, I had to get, the self-image. I had to change the username to Coach Hanna. So we had to get the courses online on how to become a coach. Mm-hmm. Then I had to, whatever I read, I apply.
Hold on. This is the 50K social media trainer.
Yes. The relationship is growing. We are talking, and then we are integrating.
Yes.
Now we've left the social media.
Now we are
after getting my online shop,
yes.
He helped me to get an online shop. It's called Hannah's V Shop. I was running it to become a Jumia in Uganda.
Wow.
Yeah. So I started my coaching. So in COVID, when it hit, I opened up a Telegram, and I had to start teaching people so that I get the experience of being a coach free of charge. So I wake up in the morning, let's start goal setting. Right. How many goals do you have? Such things. Yes, that one. How many goals do you have? Let's start with this one, do this, and I give them homework. Tomorrow morning I check everyone's homework. Then I give them another assignment. So I started it until they opened up the shops. So when they opened up the shops, my boss called me and they told me they no longer afford the shop. They are going to leave. So there I called my consultant and I asked them.
Where you are with ticketing?
Yeah, they're closing. Yes. So I called, I have people I consult. I'm like, I wanted to take up that shop. What do you think? The guy told me, whatever you think, Hajara, just go with that. But I'm like, but I don't have money. Hajara, take up the shop. I had rent for 1 month.
Wow.
Kati, my Hannah's V Shop, I used to get things from China, from 300,000. I ship my things from China, West trainers for the shop. So that one was bringing in little money. So I'm like, I had raised 200 West trainers. So I'm like, let me put them in my shop and I start my journey. So I started my shop with rent for 1 month and a few West trainers in a corner. Then I worked hard, I got a carpet, and I was there. I don't know next month, I don't know transport, I don't know about food. And I told myself, this is the only time I will know if I'm Coach Hanna or not. If I can get myself from this situation, then I can help other people.
If I can coach myself out of this situation.
Yes. I can tell people that is one of the worst things,
seasons
in life, because it was hard. I reached an extent, and I paid a coach And I told them, this, you know, I know what I want. So I can write down, I'm like, help me with this and this and this. Guy ate my money. Guy didn't even solve any of that problem. What he told me was like, just close the shop and get something cheaper that you can afford. And I told him, when you look at me, you think I can fail to raise money for that shop. I just want a marketing strategy that can help me with all the ideas I have to raise the money. I didn't say I can't afford. There is something that is missing in the equation. So, guy, and I left it.
So here's the challenge with the with this whole concept of coaching in this country. It's maybe it has always been there, but it's a fairly new thing to be a formal thing to say, let me go look for a coach.
Yes.
And what you've just said is one of the reasons typically we don't trust coaches or believe they work. Like one day you pay a coach and
Yes.
then
I've paid many
they
in
don't
Kampala.
do anything. There is no, the years we went to school, I don't know about now, there is no degree in
Yes.
coaching that there is a proper formal way and accredited and approved way of knowing that this person is legit, that they even have a title,
Yes.
like how we have a doctor or engineer.
Yes.
So it makes it hard. So you're still in a tricky space,
Yes.
but you're not complaining.
I know what coaching is. I know I wanted it at a time and I didn't get it.
Yeah.
And it's my purpose.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to get the challenges I got. All I wanted is someone to move me from step 1 to step 2. I coached myself out of my problems. Let me give you an example. I reached an extent and I couldn't pay rent at Equatorial. I remember after COVID, they told me, if you pay the 2 months we are demanding you, then we will forgive you the other month for COVID. But if you don't pay in this month, you will have to pay the other month.
I know.
So I looked for money.
I know some property owners who have resorted to that kind of thing when things have become so tight.
Yeah. So that is the time I went to the other coach. So the other coach told me to leave. And I sat with myself. I told myself, I'm not leaving. I'm getting the solution. So that day when I refused to leave, in 2 days, I got someone who issued the tickets and I got rent that I was looking for. So I went to Equatorial and they refused me to pay for 2 months. I'm like, can you help me and take me to the owner of Equatorial? I talked to him. So they told me, Karim is hard. What are you saying? I'm like, please, make an appointment for me. They are like, just come at 6 a.m., you'll find him. So I came the first day, I didn't find him. The second day, I found him. Everyone was shaking in the room.
I am told that's when he does his appointment. 5, 6,
So
7.
I'm like, please, I will talk to him. And he will accept. So I went outside. At my time reached, I came. I'm like, Karim, how are you, sir? I'm good. Do you know that I've been on this building for 10 years? And there is no math. I was counting the years for my boss too.
Oh, you were counting. So you asked for the ticketing officer
Yes.
was in before
Yes.
you. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
I've never
interesting.
failed to parent. And this challenging time where airlines are all closed, I failed to pay on time. I've come with the money. How could you refuse? The guy just told them, you know what, this Hajara, I want to manage her. Please pick the money that she has and let go.
Wow.
But he was like, he knew I didn't have the money. He's like, if you are paying today, it is allowed. But if you're paying next week, no, it's not going to apply. So I went to office. I bought the money. Do you know that those guys refused the money? They were shaking. That is how bad they fear the guy. They told me, please let us relax.
It was unprecedented. It had never happened to anyone.
They told me you'll bring the money when we are calm. Whenever they meet their boss, they are always like that.
Wow.
I'm like, me, I don't fear those people. They are human like us. So I finished that. I went back to my negative, no paying rent after that. Because, you've got a client one-off and then you're back to the system. So me, I used to do meetings with myself in the business. I have a Monday, I wake up, I am everything. I sit, I have my book for meetings. Today, what am I going to talk about? Marketing. I discuss. So I sat down because I read books. And I'm like, how many ideas, like which ideas can I bring up that can raise money for me? I sat down and I'm like, I have the skills, I have the online shop. Then I have Tangerine Tours and Travel. I thought of registering it. That time when I was already in the shop.
Why Tangerine? You like manga, does that mean?
No, I stole it from some company, big company.
Okay, go on.
Yeah. So I also added coaching. So why did I choose to ask money for coaching? Someone called me from the other Telegram group and they're like, Hannah, you're giving us a lot of knowledge. We are learning. Why don't you charge us? At least 10K. I'm like, okay, 20K every month. Only 3 people paid.
Yeah. You cannot be like that sometimes.
Yes.
It's all good until they have to pay for it.
So I'm like 3 people paying for Coach Hanna. Then the Hannah's V shop could bring like 200 or 300,000 a month. How am I going to raise the rent and then the transport and everything? So I started idealization. I have that hour in the morning and I look for ideas. So I was reading a book. It's that book they told you, the Blue Ocean Strategy.
Yes.
Then Guy told us to get an idea. We are not competing with the people around us.
Yes.
But it has to be complementing them.
Yes.
So I looked around Equatorio and people around me were decorators. So I'm like, how can I tap without
Into
competing with them?
Yes.
So I am like, every occasion they have the kaboka mwala, that flower they take, and the men bring gifts. So let me learn gifts and flowers.
Yes.
So I went to YouTube University and I taught myself how to make flowers and how to wrap gifts.
Wow.
So I'm like, before I get my order of making a gift, a flower, what should I do? I have to compliment people who make flowers. So I got my table from office. It was a small table. Someone had left it, like kept it. Let me keep it here, I'll pick it. I put it outside my office. I had 21,000 in office. I went, got chocolates and some sweets and put on the table. And I started the journey of gifts and flowers. So I'm like, if someone hasn't given me business, because in those flowers they put chocolates, at least someone else will buy from me. So all my neighbors laughed. And I'm like, I'm running this journey and you'll see the person I'm going to become. So I used to read. Again, as I was reading, now I have 4 businesses: Tangerine Gifts and Flowers, Tangerine Store, Tangerine Tours and Travel, and Coach Hanna. I was reading another book, I don't remember the title, and a guy told us, you don't need 1,000 business ideas. You just need one business idea that works and a marketing strategy that works. And I'm like, all my time and energy.
Where were you when I needed you?
Yes. So I'm like, and I can't have all those businesses in one room. Because when you bring gifts and flowers and then Tangerine Tours and Travel has to be an office, I'm like, Then I'm back to zero. I went to my idealization, my book. I'm like, now, which one should I start with? I started with Coach Hanna. I'm like, I should get a marketing strategy for it that works. So I have some people that I coach. They pay me for a year. And they see me like weekly or monthly. Yeah. So the chick told me, for the knowledge you have, please give a chance to the world to know what you have. You look small, you look broke, but people don't know what you have.
Maybe then, not anymore. You don't look broke anymore.
Yeah. So I got her from 25,000 on the account to 3 million that time. Wow. So I'm like, okay, let me give it a try. I got a guy on YouTube. It's called Simon Official, one of the bloggers. Then I gave them 1 hour of teaching about business. I got called Solomon, plus the owner of Harmony Pot Water, wanting me to coach her
people.
Yeah. Herself. Yeah.
Mm.
But that chick has a PhD.
Wow.
They started from Belgium. But when they called me, they told me, like, you're small, you're young. Why would you have information that can make me call you? For the experience I have, for the books I've read, I'm like, because I have something different.
Yeah.
So I'm like, she told me, I need this, and this. Someone to help me in this. So this is the problem I have for my business. I told her that's not the problem. Can I tell you the problem? I told her the problem. It's like, what is wrong with you? Please come, we met. And I did my work. And she paid me, and it worked.
Wow. What a story.
Yeah. So what happens? I saw a marketing working when I went out to talk about what I do. So what happens? I'm like, So if coaching, I can be going there, then how about tangerine tours and travel? I failed because you can't run ads for travel. People don't trust Facebook. Like, someone gives you 10 million when they got it from Facebook, it's very hard.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and my network were age mates 30 and below, so they couldn't fly. If they fly, it's the man to decide.
Yeah.
So I was limited. So I'm like, I'm focusing on only 2 because guy told us one idea. So only 2, whatever works, I go with that. So on another note, I reread my first book, which was Think and Grow Rich. Then I got on I think one chapter, it's called Mastermind. So I'm like, I need this too. I need a mastermind because I'm lonely. Yes, I used to record my business analysis every week. So I saw it grow, but it's not working out. Like, this week you get 100K. Next week you've got an idea that takes you to 300K. But you haven't broken even, but you're seeing it grow.
Yes.
So I'm like, what should I do? So I looked for a mastermind. I failed. So I told the other guy, I'm like, let's look for one in Uganda. I'll join a mastermind where business owners sit and talk about challenges. So when I failed, I got all my contacts. I'm like, let me look for my friends who have their businesses. We keep sitting every week and talk about businesses. So I sit down, I talk, I explain what mastermind is. Guy told me, but Hajara, do you think those things will work? So we come here, we talk about challenges for our businesses. What are you saying? So I closed my group. So I'm like, what should I do? I have to look for people who understand this mindset. I continued. When I was searching, I was even on YouTube searching for a group of business owners.
Yes.
Then I got to a YouTube channel of Lisa Kusima. They had invited Sila's Oven. Sila's Oven mentioned a group of business owners that sit every week helped me to get referrals for my business. That's where I ended. I paused, I got in description, looked for the contact, and called her. Hello, you talked about a group of business owners. Tell me about it. She didn't explain anything. She just told me tomorrow, 6:30, Fairway Hotel. I'm like, I'll be there.
Just like that.
Just like that. Because I was looking for it, it's me who looked for BNI. It's not BNI that looked for me. No one brought me to the room to show me.
How has it been in a few seconds?
It is the best business decision I've ever made in my life.
Wow. Hajara, clearly we have to call you back sometime to talk about your BNI journey. What an intro to your life.
Yeah.
Hajara, what I pick from your story is that it's not scripted. It's totally off script. Not I went to school, I studied ticketing because I always wanted to be a ticketing person, and you are a go-getter. You go out to look for what you want and whatever life throws at you.
And I'm flexible.
Exactly.
So I can be a cook tomorrow.
You know, I look in the room on Wednesday when we meet. I look around the room and I can count more than half the people in that room who are doing the things they never studied in school.
Yes, that's
so we are many that have taken what life
many.
has thrown at us and just embraced it.
Yes.
Used BNI YouTube University to learn a lot of things. and so on. Hajara, very good to have you here
Thank
on Studio 84. Just quickly, your parting shot and give us feedback on how you like or do not like this space. How do you like our baby?
First of all, me personally, I used to tell my parents, I'm born for TV and radio. So whatever studio I'm in,
Yes.
I love the baby.
Yes.
And when I saw you make it, I'm like, do you remember that other time I told you, why don't you record us?
Yes, I remember it.
So me, I'm those people who used to say, please take a pic of me. Yeah, those people. It's only the business struggles that made me go behind.
Yeah.
Because I was stressed. And in that period I was pregnant.
Do you still have a dream to go into air hostess life?
No. No. By the way, my purpose is in coaching. But people don't know.
The thing is, you're the coach, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like the purpose keeps shifting along the journey of life.
But it keeps coming back to the origin, the seed. So me, my mission is, I remember the pain of being in something I want, but I don't have anyone I can call to tell me what to do.
That's where the coaching comes in.
Yeah. So I'm like, I know a lot of business owners that are starting up their businesses. But they're like, if we had a script or someone to tell us that when you're building a system, we have soft systems and hard systems. What can I start with? For me to pour all the 100 million in capital, what should I do?
Yes.
So since I studied it, I passed through it. And I'm with business owners, the experiences I have that can help you move from a certain journey to another. I know I can do it. I might not be the right coach right now for you, but I'll become one because I'm passionate about it, and I know how much the world needs it, even if they haven't identified that they need it. Yep.
Wow, Hajara. You will definitely be back here in part 2 to talk about your journey in BNI.
Of course.
Thank you very much, and it was a pleasure hosting you at
You're
Studio
welcome.
84.
I love the baby. Me, I'll
All
be
right,
coming
Hajara.
here to carry it every time.
We thank you.